Hi folks, I'm Murf. I'm a 3D generalist, I'm a game developer, I'm a visual artist, I'm a VR engineer, I'm a lifelong musician and sound engineer, game designer, game director occasionally, although I'd love to do a bit more of that, that's the goal. I've been lucky enough to work with like SVT, who are Sweden's national broadcaster. We've had some hits there with some of my work involved. I've been working with Universal Music for many years here now. I've worked with artists like Dermot Kennedy, Mabel, even Billie Eilish as an engineer and tech for them. I love games, 3D art of all sorts, traditional cinema and art too, of course, music, and any and all weird shit that moves people. I do my best to live and make my living where art and creativity meet science, and that's always where I've found my passion and get so excited to talk about this stuff. So today I wanted to dive into the incredible new trailer from Bungie's Marathon, the new game that they dropped the trailers last Saturday. Not the gameplay trailer, mind you. I'll have plenty to say about that. The internet's on fire talking about it. But today I really wanted to focus on the cinematic reveal trailer. So, straight out, I'm just going to say this is the most artistic trailer I've ever seen. I've watched it far too many times already. And I just wanted to jump on here and speak about it a little bit, because it really got me fired up. Many of you instantly recognized the style as something familiar. And perhaps some of you made the connection to Love, Death and Robots, especially the episode The Witness. And you'd be absolutely correct if you'd done so, because the unique and erratic camera animations, the exaggerated lensing, the incredibly natural character movements, that they're so relaxed and fluid that they have an almost unsettling quality to them. And I'll come back to the really mind-blowing part about that very soon. But it all screams Albert Mielgo. Miego? I hope I just say that correct. I don't. Miego is the creative genius not just behind The Witness, but also the colossal Jibaro, right? Spanish. From season 3, that's the one with the deaf knight and the siren, and they chase each other, which is another theme of Mielgo's work. And if you hadn't twigged that knight is deaf, by the way, go back and watch it again. Keep in mind the knight is deaf. It's going to blow your mind. It's crazy. So Bungie brought Mielgo on board to write and direct the cinematic trailer, and they gave him full artistic freedom to do whatever he wanted with it, and thank God they did, because this guy's a powerhouse. The visual art style here is unmistakably Mielgo's work. It's painterly and vivid and surreal, but somehow very grounded in realism. I think that's a lot to do with the character movements, which are kind of subtle and they have this fluid motion. At first glance, you might assume it's mocap, and I certainly did, or even rotoscope. It's so natural, and I was thinking to myself watching it, how did he make the mocap so natural? How did he do that? Because I've worked at mocap a lot. I've worked with Coco and a few different systems, camera systems. I've never managed to make it feel and look as natural as that, so I was fascinated. Everything in his work is hand animated. He doesn't mocap, he doesn't rotoscope, it's all hand animated, frame by frame, brute force, and that's kind of crazy. Like, watch the dance sequences in Jibaro in Love, Death and Robots season 3, and those are all, they took mocap apparently and used that as reference for the animators, and then just hand animated everything, like brute force to a whole new level. That sort of broke my brain, and watching it again every time, I'm just thinking, like, how did they make it so natural? Even with mocap, I was like, wow, that must have been pretty hard. When I found out it was hand animated, it really blew my socks off, to be honest. Another Mielgo trademark is his use of like the simulated camera work, that handheld realism, that really, the shaking, the flickers, the raw focus, lens distortion, and it gives you the illusion there's a real person holding the camera, and I think that really puts the viewer into the action and into his work, and it adds so much feeling to it. So having said all that, Mielgo's a great case study in creating a 3D art style in a world where we'll have like infinite choices in 3D. At every turn, there's an infinite number of choices confronting us, and he finds the options he likes and he sticks to them again and again and again throughout his body of work. And over time, that act repeated grows into what we viewers and enjoyers perceive as like a style, a visual identity that's like encoded into the work. It's like a signature or a fingerprint of the creator that's carved in over time and repetitions. You pick the things you like over and over again, and don't worry about things being perfect or a little rough. And that's where the art really is, it seems to be Alberto's philosophy from my research about him. And it's hard not to be impressed by such a solid and grounded piece of advice by such a master creator. Another one of my favorite things about Mielgo is his utter refusal to choose a discipline. Why the f should I? And he's dead right. I love this personally, as someone who could never choose a discipline. He gets involved in every aspect of his work when he's directing, from sound design, he's painting the backgrounds, he's hand animating things. Why pick anything when we can have everything? I've said that for a long time. So I was like jumping out of my seat when I heard Mielgo say very similar things in a similar kind of forward speaking, straight talking language that I kind of identified with. And again, this is probably why I got so inspired. And I'm sure a lot of other people will become so inspired because he makes the art practical and it feels deep and important while also being practical and unpretentious. He's not pretentious at all. If you hear him speak, he's very unpretentious. And that's a great thing, I think, for all of us as artists to make things accessible and unpretentious. I'll be talking more about Mielgo's process in another video, most likely, because it's someone I really connected to and got me excited about art and what I'm doing. I'll also be talking about the gameplay side of Marathon. I'm going to wade into that mess that's going on right now online. And everyone has very strong feelings. Mostly people who haven't played the game, of course, as usual, will figure all that out, I suppose. But honestly, whether you're a 3D artist or a generalist or an animator or a painter or you're a writer, you just love storytelling, I think that this trailer is like undeniable. It's a bit of a masterpiece. And if you haven't seen it, of course, check it out. I'm going to put the link somewhere around my head, around my giant head. And of course, if you want to talk about this more or you notice some things I didn't, please hit me up in the comments section there. And of course, there will be lots of people fighting to answer your questions with who know more than any of us, because it's YouTube comments. That's how it works. This channel is new, so please like and subscribe and share the video if you enjoyed it or it made you a little bit excited. Really appreciate your support. I'm trying to grow something here and I want to get a little community going that talks about art and science and video games, and I'm not going to pick a subject because that's what this is all about. It's about being generalists in art and in life. Like and subscribe, hit me up in the comments, and thank you very much for your time. Have a lovely day. Lovely day. Take care.